This evening, SDLP Councillor, Belfast Councillor, Niall Kelly's on the line. You've heard what Suzanne said there. Waste of time putting anybody out in the streets to look at this.
Yeah.
Meaningless.
Go that far now. The council staff have to be out, and it's not a job that any of us would then be doing. They're under a lot of pressure because if they attempt to confiscate alcohol during the parade, there's a possibility that the situation could escalate. And
so why bother? Why bother?
They have to be out. There are situations where the council wardens will be able to take alcohol off people, but if you're confronted with a crowd of hundreds of people and they're all drinking, it's impossible to stop them, and nobody wants the situation to escalate where violence could happen. But what we have to remember is this isn't an attack on the Orange Order or Orangeism. There has to be a way that spectators can enjoy the marches, but at the same time they have to respect the rights of the residents.
Yeah.
Like, I was up and down the Lisburn Road all day on the 12th, and the place was littered with large amounts of rubbish, broken beer bottles, tins, boxes and other debris. The place resembled nothing more than a rubbish tip.
Yeah, and your officials are handing out leaflets, which I would suggest merely added to the litter problems of the day.
I don't think that's a fair comment now.
Well, what would they do? What do you think? They'd take them home with them?
Well, there was very little in the way of provisions for rubbish and toilets as well. I went up and down Lisburn Road, and at the top of Tate's Avenue, I noticed 4 portable toilets. That was the only provision that seemed to be made. There were streets along Balmoral Avenue that were turned into nothing more than public toilets. The council has to do more, and the Orange Order has to do more on that.
Well, what you see, it does strike me, and I'd be interested to hear what other people have to say on our lines, that the credibility of the police and the local council, any local council, hits rock bottom when they're incapable of dealing with those who actually break the law.
I agree with that. The police and the council itself has a lot to answer for. The problem can't just be dealt with on the day, on the 12th. It has to be dealt with in the weeks and months before that. It's a mindset issue. People have to be made to understand that it's no longer acceptable for them to consume alcohol at the marches. We have to get to the point where people are made to understand that no, it will not be tolerated on the day, and the police do have to take a firmer approach, but it's very difficult on the day for individual officers or groups of officers to confiscate alcohol off people. Yeah,
one can understand that, but when you get the Assistant Chief Constable issuing a statement saying there will be a robust approach to street drinking during the 12th. Now, when you read that in advance, most people knew that's a load of rubbish. You've already said it yourself. What can you do with a crowd of people? You can't do anything. So why make statements like that? I know you can't be responsible for what the police say.
No, well, I would like to see them speak with the police and find out exactly how much alcohol was confiscated on the day, but we all know that it was very little. Everybody knows that there was widespread drinking on the streets, and the rubbish was just left all over the place without a care for anybody else. So I agree that the police may have thought that was a robust approach, but I would disagree with that.
Yeah, I have a statement actually from the police. We did ask them if they'd like to come on board and do an interview, but no, they won't do anything until they collate all the figures, and I'll read you the quote. They say, we work closely with parade and event organisers, other key partners, and here they still say it took a robust approach to underage and on-street drinking, born out of the fact the day was broadly a peaceful one with notably fewer incidents reported. Police seized a significant amount of alcohol throughout Northern Ireland, and the full figures will be released later in the week. Police will also be taking, this word again, a robust approach to on-street drinking at other key public events throughout the year. I have somebody on the line now who wants